Finance scams and fraud are still costing Australians big dollars, and while we are getting better at stopping them, it's critical to know what to do if you get stung and how you can potentially get your money back. Zane Pert is a finance educator and founder of Zep Finance. Firstly, Zane, how many people do you see getting stung by financial fraud, and what types of scams and fraud are most common?
Unfortunately, I do see a lot of people getting stung by fraud, which is really sad. I mean, some Bureau statistics figures in 2022-23 had 8.7% of people in Australia got stung by card fraud. 2.5% of us experienced some form of scam, and 1% experienced identity theft. Now, identity theft is a big one that I see. That's where people might be taking your ID, then they're taking out credit cards, loans, everything under your name. A lot of emails are getting compromised. So that could be any part of the process. Like as a mortgage broker, it could be somebody in the real estate office, it could be somebody in the legal office, it could be the clients themselves. And those hackers actually take that data for a long time, and it could be that they change the details of where you're doing a large transfer. There's a lot that goes on, and there's also a lot of malware that I'm seeing come up.
Now, is there a trend in the types of people who are falling victim?
Like traditionally in the past, it was the more vulnerable people. So you were talking the elderly, the sick, the disadvantaged. But unfortunately, in the modern world, there's a lot more cyber attacks. So we're seeing the younger generation are falling victim a lot more now. So we're seeing a lot of ads on social media and a whole heap of different things that you can click on that can then lead them to cyber fraud.
Now, have we gotten better at stopping scams and frauds at the moment? Are the systems within the banks working better?
The problem about that is that, yes, the systems are working better and they're becoming more sophisticated. And every day they're picking up more fraud, but there's just more fraud out there. I mean, in the last month, we've seen those articles around the world where they've found some scamming centres on the border of China and Myanmar. There's a lot more going on with AI changing. There's a lot more people who are in need of money. So we are seeing that the level of fraud is actually increasing. Although the authorities are picking up more, there's still a lot more getting through.
Now, if you are a victim, in what circumstances can you try and get your money back from the banks, and how long does that take?
Look, if you're ever victim to fraud, make sure you report it as soon as possible. The speed that you can report it at could mean getting the money back or not. Unfortunately, it can be a long process to get your money back. It's not a straightforward process. If you've provided no details for the fraud, not given them bank account details, not given them passwords, then it should be a lot easier to get that money back.
Do we need better legislation or at least education so people know where they stand in these situations?
Absolutely. That's something that's really important. I mean, education is fantastic. And I feel the problem with legislation is that it's sort of never catching up to where we're at. One of the major things I think that we need to change is put more onus on social media giants and the tech giants to stop those fake ads and a lot of that fake information that's getting out there and causing a hell of a lot of scams at the moment. I think we certainly need more clarity and obligations on what the legal ramification for the banks and when they have to give that money back, and maybe some more framework on timeframes to get that money back to the consumers.
Yeah, still a big issue affecting a lot of people. Zane Pert, finance educator and founder of Zep Finance. Thanks for your time this afternoon.
Thanks for having me on this afternoon. Really appreciate it.